How's it going, everybody? We are here in the Guizhou province of China still. Behind me, you can see the Dafa Bridge. I mean, as an American, I sit here, I think, wow, this is amazing. This would take like decades to build, generations to build in the US. But here they build these sorts of bridges just like that. They've got bridges like this all over the place here. In these mountains, it's a lot of rural farm workers that live here. They were all previously disconnected from any of the major cities. So the question is, how does one sell their goods? How does one transport their crops, their products? Well, these bridges actually assist in that effort. They also have deployed very high-speed Wi-Fi out here. I'm on my phone uploading, videos on Twitter of the Iran war and stuff as we drive through these mountains. Never in a million years in America would we have something like that. But really, the most incredible thing about where we're at right now is not the bridge. This bridge here is actually named after a man who built a water canal that cascades along the mountains of this region and delivers water to the rural farm workers who live here. Huang, who built this canal, he was born in 1935, before the establishment of the People's Republic of China. He grew up here in the Guizhou province in the rural region, and this area, before there was a proper canal, before there were these opportunities, right, there was literally nothing. So much nothing that, they were living in eternal droughts, they had no water, and they couldn't grow anything. They couldn't even grow rice here. They just grew some potatoes and some basic crops like that, but really had no opportunity whatsoever. It took them 36 years building this water canal. They were chipping away with pickaxes on the mountainside by hand effectively, okay? No heavy machinery because we are in rural China, we are on the mountainside, and this was before any of the major infrastructure projects that took place. When Huang Dafa was in his 20s, in 1958, he became the secretary of the local Communist Party here in this county. He essentially got elected on the premise of three major promises to the people here. He wanted to bring water, build a road, and provide electricity to the people. And you think, without any sort of, heavy machinery, this is in the 1950s, how do you achieve something like that? It just sounded to the people like this was a politician's promise, right? But they were inspired by the likes of old Chinese tales and stories that talked about moving mountains, and anything can be done through persistence. And this was a 39-year project. It spans over 3 mountain ranges, 9 kilometers. They etched this water canal into insane terrain, and through, acts of God almost, they were able to deliver this water to the people in this region. So behind me, you can see the canal that they built. Again, took them 39 years to build it. And this is the end point as it passes through one of the villages behind me. So this is where it goes down into the villages to irrigate the crops. Also, all around me on the left and right, you can see there's some agricultural tools here that they use. These are, I'd imagine, some rice fields. I'm not 100% sure, but they look like terrace rice fields. You can see on the other side how they have this terrace going down that usually is indicative of rice fields. But all throughout the mountains, 9 kilometers, they built something like this through some of the most intense terrain you could imagine, along cliff sides, 3 mountains, thick forested areas, right? They achieved a feat of human nature like this with their bare hands, 1 axe swing at a time. This was started in the 1950s with the dream of one man who wanted to change his community, and now the entire region has changed. And this is the dream that so many had when the Communist Revolution took place in China, materialized through the work of a cadre that refused to take no for an answer. And look at this. You've also got this beautiful chiseled mural display dedicated to the workers once more, overlooking the valley region where the water irrigates these communities, depicting the heroic feats of all of the workers. You see them carving away at the stone. Of course, you have the hammer and sickle, and you have more workers over here depicting them carving out the canal and the water flowing down below. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful here, breathtaking, really. So along my right, you can see the canal This is cascading down the mountainside. Not the most difficult of terrain here. They built a little road, but you can see it slowly moving. I saw Thomas Massey make a post this week. He's like, imagine a society where there's a just law and a government that serves its citizens and huge infrastructure and no foreign wars, no foreign military bases. I'm like, bro, you can just say China. You can just say China. It's called China. Everyone in the comment section was like, it is China. Maybe we should, rather than say nasty things about this country and not understand it and make up our own stories, maybe people should come here, should learn, should understand what China is all about. They would have a whole new idea of what communism is and what China is. It's not scary. It's really not. It's scary to Wall Street. It's scary to George Soros. It's scary to the arms manufacturers. Not scary if you're an average working class person in America. So they've got the rice paddies down there. So these canals allow for the irrigation. Previously, they couldn't even grow rice. Now they've got rice paddies everywhere. They've got livestock. They've got tons of stuff that they never could have dreamed of before the canal. So you can see this extremely steep cliff that's right behind me, and below is the water canal. Before they had all this infrastructure, before they built this, there was one water well that served 5,000 people. So all the villagers would have to come together, walk to the one well, and that's why they couldn't produce any rice. They couldn't produce any livestock. They couldn't do anything that actually required intensive water supply, but now they can. We see the rice paddies, we see the livestock. The most incredible feat of this entire operation, though, is 90-degree fall off. They are etching a canal into the side of the cliff. And now we have this behind us, which is able to provide water for 5,000 people so they don't have to walk to a single well. And so they can actually produce more and live better lives as a result. Huang Dafa, again, the man that led this whole operation, he was the local party secretary who led this endeavor. He's actually 91 years old, and he's received the highest honors from Chairman Xi Jinping. We have the equivalent. We have the Medal of Honor in America that they give to pedos and they give to war criminals. Here they have the July 1st award, and he's received all of the highest honors. We showed you that in the museum that they have honored to him and the workers who built this all. We're actually going to go and have the great honor and opportunity to meet him.
很高兴，是吧？我们很荣幸看到你们到我们中国来了。 对我们的关心和发展，我们很高兴哈。
He said he's very happy to see you guys and care about the development of China.
Honored to see you. It's beautiful.
他们在前面听过一个事迹，
哇，这个带你找个上嘛哈。
哇。 It's a great honor to meet you. So this is the home of Huang Dafa. He lived here while they were building the water canals. This was his home. And I'm an executive board member with Chris of the American Communist Party. And we greatly thank you for giving us the honor to be here. And we find your story to be extremely inspiring, heroic, and unthinkable. What was the inspiration that led Mr. Dafa and the other members of the community to embark on such an impossible project as the water canals? Because if you were to tell a group of people in most countries, they'd think it's impossible, why waste our time? What inspired them to literally move mountains?
I was born in 1935. I've done some small things, a few modest contributions for my hometown. Looking back, our hardworking farmers really had nothing to wear or eat. The main reason was because there was very little water there, almost no water, and because of that,
many families were living in poverty, struggling to make ends meet. People often did not have enough food to eat, and it was common for households to go without proper meals. Life was hard. and the lack of resources made daily survival a real challenge for everyone.
Water is the lifeblood of agricultural production. Without water, there's no harvest. With water, we have grain. Without it, we have none, as the General Secretary said. In China, we have people from all walks of life, coming from many different backgrounds and experiences. No matter where they are from or what they do, all these people are united by a strong sense of togetherness and community. I came here today really thinking about the small things that I have done for my hometown. As a party member, each of us should always strive to be a good model, to be advanced, and to make sure we do not fall behind. We must be good cadres, excellent cadres, so the people will listen to us and love us.
The bottom line for the Communist Party is that it must never take even a single needle or thread from the people, meaning it should not take anything at all, no matter how small, from those it serves. The party's purpose is to serve the people wholeheartedly, always working to advance the people's cause and improve their lives. Our aim is to ensure that the masses truly benefit from our efforts.
Our party's goal is, and always has been, the pursuit of common prosperity. True common prosperity. That is why we must unite as one, working together to develop and strengthen our various industries. Only with strong and thriving industries will our country have the wealth it needs. We need to strive for true unity and togetherness. Nations must unite and come together, regardless of the aspect or the circumstances, because unity is truly essential for progress and harmony in any society. And we must unite within our families, right? We must learn the spirit of the long march to have strength. Our revolutionary martyrs walked the long march. We must learn our long march spirit and pass it on forever. The changes in Chinese society have been earth-shaking. Industry, agriculture, national defense, we've developed very well. The country has everything now. For all of us living here in China, we truly believe in China's greatness and the remarkable progress it has made over the years. The happiness of the people comes from the tireless efforts and dedication of so many, and especially from the leadership and vision under our chairman Mao. Through many decades of hard work, perseverance, and struggle, China has achieved truly great victories and remarkable accomplishments. From what we see in China today, under the wise and steady leadership of our General Secretary Xi Jinping, we can confidently say that we are a responsible and respected major power on the world stage. We've done incredibly well. It's a massive change, a complete transformation in our industrial and agricultural production, in our national education and defense, in our countryside, in industry and agriculture. Our development is incredible. Our Communist Party is for the people. The hallmark of a communist is to listen to the party, follow the party, and be grateful to the party. A good communist must always carefully follow the rules. The US, Russian, and Chinese Communist parties, we are all one family. Our Communist Party loves the people, and the people love our Communist Party. We are connected by blood. Our guests and friends from the United States and Russia, I am very happy and honored in my heart today to see you all, to let our next generation understand China and every one of the 56 ethnic groups and our unity of heart. The United States is a major power, and our China is also a major power. Now that you have come to China, I hope you visit more often. Only then will the exchange with the United States be deep. This year, this is our party secretary. He'll tell the stories of rural revitalization.
After our development through this poverty alleviation, our people's pockets have filled up. From 2019, we only had an income of a few thousand yuan. Now it has reached 10,000 yuan. Per capita income was 5,000 plus yuan. Now it's reached 17,000 plus yuan. The people's housing conditions used to be very dilapidated. Now, through poverty alleviation, they've all improved. Our water, electricity, roads, communications, and housing have been fully revitalized. And the people's sense of happiness and security has greatly improved.
Communism is what makes China China today. Without it, there would be no China. Without it, China would be some very large but very weak country like India. in the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they'd be a balkanized mess of landlord fiefdoms, like in Europe or something. This right here, these bridges, the mass infrastructure you see connecting the people is only possible because they have a government that serves the people rather than the previous pre-revolutionary government in China, which was filled with corrupt local officials who ignored the needs of the people. It was filled with brutal landlords who would torture and harass the citizens. And this China is only possible because of the revolutionary communist government and the revolutionary communist people that made all this possible. They initially worked on the canal until about 1990. And up until that point, they had huge setbacks along the cliff sides because the canal extended along 3 different cliff sides, and it failed to deliver water to the local villages that they were trying to target. And then Huang Dafa, he understood that this was possible, it could happen. He wrote a request to the local county government, and he traveled by foot 100 kilometers to go and deliver his petition, his request for further funding and some basic supplies, like some ropes, some pickaxes, to the county government, who then agreed with this request and project and actually gave him the tools that they needed to complete this. So by 1994, the canal opened. It delivered water to the communities that they had targeted. It provided drinking water to all the people, several villages. It irrigated around 80 hectares of fields, enabling rice cultivation and extremely high yields of products and crops that they never dreamed of actually producing before. Hundreds of thousands of kilograms of rice are now produced annually here. They were able to bring livestock to the area, something that they actually couldn't do before when there was no water. And it helped lift the village and nearby communities out of poverty. And around the same time, they gained electricity here and had modernization with other roads and bridges like the ones that you see behind me, which is actually named after Huang Dafa. It goes without saying, with the proper mindset, with the proper ideological base, with the proper support, you can literally achieve anything. Think about what our government could do in the US if it actually put its mind to it, rather than all the endless wars and the warrantless surveillance that it does. Imagine if all of the power our government had was actually served to addressing the needs of the people. If a small group of villagers could do something like this, one axe stroke at a time, carving away at the mountainsides and delivering water and completely changing the economic well-being and the standard of living of thousands of people over the course of decades. Imagine what we could do in the United States. All right, so now we're gonna sit down and have some food.
What's good? What's good? You ready to eat?
And we got a bunch of tasty food here, as you can see. Every single place, the food's been amazing. All local cuisine. You can see we got some pork, we got some maybe beef tongue, got some fish. So all the food that we're trying is local cuisine. Like we learned on the tour in the museum, before they had the water, they could only grow potatoes and corn. Now you can see they've got tons of food here. Livestock, agricultural products, they've got amazing stuff. So we're gonna give it a go. Sausage, some pork, some mushrooms, some greens, and homemade rice. Very good. We just spent the day here in the greater Tsunyi area, and we were able to take a very close look at the water canals that were built over the course of 39 years, stretching 9 kilometers. This canal, it goes across 3 different mountain passes, it goes through 3 different cliff sides, tons of thick foresty area, and you wonder, how is it possible that starting in the 1950s, spanning over 39 years, could they have achieved something like that, all by hand? There's no heavy machinery, there's no professional construction crews. This was done by rank and file party cadre, the most disciplined people on the face of the earth that are serving a greater purpose. And well, we had our questions answered because we were able to meet the man behind this whole entire mission, Huang Dafa. He was gracious enough to give us a few moments answering our questions, instilling some knowledge and discipline in us as international communists coming from Russia, from America, and also so graciously taking us into his home and showing us where he lives, how he lives. It's almost like a superhuman feat, superhuman capability that we witness today. The achievements that were done here and what it has led to as a greater example, serving as an impetus and a basis for the new major infrastructures we see in modern China, like these huge bridges above us, the Dafa Grand Bridge, named after Huang Dafa, who created the water canal. So it's absolutely beautiful and unlike anything I've ever seen before. I'd like to thank my good friends at China Not Just Travel for inviting me out on this amazing visit to Guizhou, China. And if you would like to visit Guizhou or any other place in China for that matter, click the link at the top of the description, ChinaNotJustTravel.com. They are the best in the business. I've known them for years. I have, traveled the world with the crew who leads China Not Just Travel, and now I'm so thankful that I was able to visit China with them one more time, but this time we went out of Shanghai, obviously all across Guizhou. You're going to see how amazing this trip was in the upcoming vlogs that I'm going to be uploading. They offer a myriad of amazing trips. They have an iconic China trip, a wellness trip, Red China, Kung Fu China. They have a China summer school, and they even have like business opportunities. You can go on an AI trip in China. They literally know everyone in China, and they are there to help you. So you can go to ChinaNotJustTravel.com, inquire on their website, click the Inquire Now button if you have any questions, you have ideas as to what you might want to see in China. They're going to give you the 101, answer anything you might have questions about, and walk you through the fundamentals of traveling in China. And while you're there, they're going to be with you and give you an experience that you will never forget. I recommend everyone travel to China at least once in their life. But the truth is, if you travel once to China, you're going to want to go back many more times. So ChinaNotJustTravel.com. Thank you so much for having me, and I recommend that you all take a visit to China too, and there's no one else to do it with but China Not Just Travel.